What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 97, and we're starting today's episode off with the injury details of Diego Menendez. And as you can see, he's going to be out for 3 weeks, so it's not a major blow. Thank God it's not a serious injury. We couldn't cope with that, but of course in the last game against FC Cologne, once he got that knock just 6 minutes into the game, we didn't look the same team, and that's because in this Borussia Dortmund side, our offense is run through Menendez. He sees most of the ball during the game because he is our best player and one of the best players in the world. Last season, of course, second highest scorer in the division, got 19 assists, I think it was. The guy is an absolute monster, so to be without him for 3 weeks, he's just taking the captain's armband as well, which is a bit funny. It is pretty frustrating because, again, I think we can cope without him, but we won't be like our normal selves, and that is for sure, because he is without question one of the best players in the world. But still, for the first game of today's episode, we had to put that to the back of our minds in this one and just take on Frankfurt here at the Signal Iduna Park and look to get a return to winning ways in this one in front of our home crowd. And just 5 minutes in, what a start as well, because Marco Reus, the guy that lost the armband this season in favour of Diego Menendez, scores an absolutely sensational solo goal where he picked the ball up from just outside our own penalty area, ran the length of the pitch, went coast to coast if you will, and takes it around the Frankfurt defender there with the drag back and rifles the ball into the bottom corner to make it Borussia Dortmund 1, Frankfurt 0. And he says, "Docs, don't forget about me, mate. Seriously, you put me on the bench now, but I'm still going to prove my worth to this team, and this is how I do it." Marco Reus with a sensational goal, and he scored a brilliant goal like that last season against Hoffenheim at the Signal Iduna Park in the Bundesliga. That one probably even better. 1-0 Dortmund. What a fantastic goal from Marco Reus. But in the 16th minute here, our new potential to be special Cam, starting for the first time, went for goal, but the Frankfurt goalkeeper made a great save to deny him his first goal on his first start for the club, as it was still Borussia Dortmund 1, Frankfurt 0. And the away side would get back on level terms here as well, 13 minutes after the restart. Mark Stendera, a player I had in my Hamburg career last year, with a really nice finish, but he made mincemeat out of Mustafi here, our new big signing at £45 million. I went to ground with the slide tackle, anticipating a shot into the near post. Stendera said, "Where are you going, son?" I've still got the ball at my feet, smashes the ball in, and makes it Dortmund 1, Frankfurt 1. But Frankfurt getting back on level terms, that didn't last for too long, because 9 minutes later, we would restore our lead, and the guy that scored our first goal would set up our second. Marco Reus whipping in a corner into the middle, and finding Nicholas Saul, who heads the ball into the back of the net and makes it Borussia Dortmund 2, Frankfurt 1. And with 9 minutes to go, we'd score our third goal of the game, get a 2-goal cushion, and wrap the points up as well, with Timo Werner getting his first goal of the new season. Last season was the 5th highest scorer in the division and 3rd highest scorer for Dortmund. Now gets his first of the year as well, and says, "Docs, like Marco Reus, don't forget about me. You put me on the bench this season in favour of a new signing as well, but I'm still going to prove my worth to the team," as he gets his first goal, and we win the game by 3-1. So what a performance from Marco Reus in this game, back in the team for this one, starting for I think just the second time this season. A great display, 2 assists and a goal as well, and the 2 assists he got both coming from corners too. The corners were really bizarre. The first one was a wicked low pacey delivery. The second one, I just tapped the square button, it looped up in the air, but both result in goals. That's all that matters, and we do win the game by 3-1. So we're still undefeated to start the season off. A very good beginning for us. 3 wins and a draw in the Bundesliga, and of course that win against Benfica in the Champions League too.
And they come into this game, Borussia Dortmund, with the best defensive record.
No, I think the home side will have to produce something special to break through this defence.
And I really do feel like this season we've got our problems sorted early as well, and mainly due to the new signings as well, which is absolutely fantastic, because last season the main issue we had was defending. We were letting an awful lot of sloppy goals. We were the league's highest scorers, scored 70 goals in the league. A really great season in front of goal, but defensively we were really poor, and Martin Tyler and Alan Smith alluded to it pre-game as well. We started the season off fantastically well at the back, and so far have the best defensive record in the division. So coming into the second game of the episode here and the second league game of today's episode. We'll take on Mainz, who right now are bottom of the table, and we take the lead 45 minutes in as well and make it 1-0 through last season's top scorer Aubameyang, who is profiting with Diego Menendez out of the team right now in the early race for the golden boot. Once again, these two might be wrapped in a battle between one another to see who takes home the golden boot again. But the goal was really bizarre because Julian Weigl almost scored a contender for the goal of the season. His bicycle kick cannoning off the crossbar. Mainz failed to get it clear, and Aubameyang capitalises to score once again. So Mainz 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. We take the lead, but just 4 minutes after the restart, a real stroke of bad luck here, because as Mainz clear the ball forward, Niklas Süle goes up for a header, and this guy started the season off very, very well. Already 2 goals for our centre-back this season, but sadly would take a tumble after an awkward challenge on the halfway line, and unfortunately did not get up. And hopefully, like with Diego Menendez, that is not a serious injury. He was forced off straight away, and hopefully the guy that started the season off quite well at the back for us, the former Hoffenheim defender, is not going to be injured for too long. So still Mainz 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. We were still leading in this game. In the 71st minute, Mainz could have levelled things up there. They went through 1-on-1 but failed to keep the shot down, and the game did finish 1-0, and it was quite a bad game from us as well, because we got the 3 points. That's the most important thing, but I didn't play well at all, and I've got to be honest here, Mainz should have at the very least got a point in this game. They were inside a couple of times, but their finishing was really, really poor, and we escaped with the 3 points. That was probably our worst performance of the season so far, but we do come away with the 3 points, and that's the most important thing. And also the injury details of Niklas Süle there. You saw Menendez at the start of the season. Niklas Süle is going to join Diego in the treatment room as he has a 4-week injury with the sprained knee. So already 2 injuries this season to 2 really important members of our first team. That's not good. I mean, if you watch my Club and Country save, you'll know last season we had the season of injuries in season 2. I'm very hopeful that this season 5 with Borussia Dortmund won't be a season of injuries at the Signal Iduna Park. It started off that way, 2 key injuries already, and hopefully we'll get them back sooner rather than later. But for the third and final game of today's episode here, we will take on the Danish side Copenhagen in the Champions League, coming into our second group stage game here after winning the first one against Benfica by 3-0. And we take the lead just 9 minutes in as well, because the guy who may be replacing Niklas Süle in the first 11 during his injury would get our first goal with a really strong header as well. Lucas Hernandez, the French centre-back, getting on the end of the Dembele cross after the first corner was dealt with, and he whipped in another delivery. Copenhagen 0, Borussia Dortmund 1, and we go in front early in this game through our defender, and we are looking so good from set pieces this season as we take an early lead. So 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund, and 10 minutes later we had a great chance here to double our lead and get another goal. Mikel Merino found Marco Reus, who flicked the ball through towards Julian Weigl here, and Weigl, our vice-captain this season, played it back towards Marco Reus. He found Mikel Merino, the Spanish midfielder, inside towards Timo Werner, and the former Red Bull Leipzig striker, who scored his first goal for the club just a couple of games ago, gets his second, I should say first goal of the season, a couple of games ago, gets his second goal of the season, and what a lovely goal it was as well. A nice build up there, patiently probing and getting ourselves inside after passing out from the back, and Timo Werner turns his defender inside out with the reverse step over, and a great finish into the top corner sees him get his first goal in Europe this season. So Copenhagen 0, Borussia Dortmund 2. It could have been 3-0 on the stroke of half time as well. Marco Reus getting on the end of that cross but heading the ball wide the post and behind for a goal kick. We were in control in the first half though and playing really, really well, looking far stronger than our opponents, and in the second half not much was really happening, to be honest, as we were just retaining possession, to be honest, for the most part, not really looking for more goals, still leading by 2. But with 10 minutes to go, Pereira was sent down the right hand side. He was almost out of stamina but kept on going down this right flank, whipped it across to the far post and looked for Kevin Volland, who gets on the end of the cross, heads the ball in and scores his first goal in a Borussia Dortmund shirt. Not the best of starts for Kevin Volland. He's barely taken a shot, to be honest, since signing for us, but that's the moment where he gets his first goal for the club. getting on the end of a really nice run and cross from Pereira down the right hand side and heading the ball into the back of the net to wrap the points up and make it Copenhagen 0, Borussia Dortmund 3. And I mentioned this in the last episode and I'll say it again, last season in the Champions League we did not play well at all. We drew as many games as we won. We only got out of our group, finishing in second place in runners up by avoiding defeat on the final group stage game away against Manchester United. We were then knocked out by Arsenal in a round of 16. This year the board wants to reach the final. I want to do that as well. I think we're good enough and this is a great way to show that we are good enough. 2 solid wins straight away against Benfica and Copenhagen and 6 points from a possible 6. So a really good start even in the absence of 2 of our most important players, Diego Menendez and Nicolas Saul. But still following that, Lucas Hernandez said he wanted to leave the club on loan in January and I was like, mate, be patient because you're probably going to get more first team football now Nicolas Saul is injured, and also Guerrero wants to be sold as well. That probably will happen though, because as you see a squad report here as we enter October, you can take a look at how the players are currently getting on. We of course still play with 3 at the back, don't play with fullbacks right now in the Borussia Dortmund side. We've got Eric Durm here that can play left back, he's just 1 rating lower, and despite being 2 years older, I wouldn't be against selling the Portuguese fullback if he does want to leave, which he does. We can get a bit of scratch for him and look to invest elsewhere, as Marco Reus has started decreasing in stats. And how annoying is this? Reus is now down to an 85 overall, so he's dropping quite drastically in terms of the overall. He was a few ratings higher than that when we joined Borussia Dortmund. Marco Reus has started the season off quite well. Why has he been downgraded a rating? We saw this last year with Aubameyang, who started the season off red hot. Why is a player that started off so well already going down in stats? I don't know. Well, let's be honest here, I do know. It's because EA think whenever a player turns 30, they automatically start getting worse, no matter how good form they are in. But anyway, that would end today's episode of the FIFA 17 career mode, guys. So a massive thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like, as likes are of course very much appreciated and they really help the channel grow as well. Much love, have a great day, and I'll see you for the next episode of career mode very soon.